Aloha, Stephanie here. I'm answering some questions from my subscribers about clutter clearing, feng shui, and the law of attraction. Today I have two questions that are about feeling overwhelmed and not knowing where to begin. The first is from Krista, who says, I am really stuck and overwhelmed because every room and every area of my life need attention. And this one is from Janice. Well, Janice says, I am a professional clutterer. I hate the clearing up process and therefore I never do it. So it all accumulates and then I feel totally overwhelmed. My question would be, how do I see the proof that decluttering is directly in relation with manifesting? That's an interesting question, which we will get to. And how do I motivate myself to even start decluttering? It's all piled up there right in front of me, and I don't know where to start and how to go about it so I can get rid of clutter forever. Clutter does not get better with age, it seems. I've been like this for a really long time. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff going on here that I want to address. Let's start with how do I see proof that decluttering is in direct relation to manifesting? Well, here's the deal. Clutter is a symptom and a cause of stuck energy. So when your home is full of clutter, your whole life is going to feel stuck. And you can do as much with the law of attraction as you want. You can do as much visualizing and affirmations and all of that. But if you don't deal with your clutter, it's going to be really hard to experience any kind of change in your life. Okay, that's the relationship between clutter and the law of attraction. The same is true with feng shui. You can apply as many feng shui strategies as you want to making things different in your life, but if you haven't dealt with the clutter, the feng shui isn't going to work. It's that basic. So if you want things to be different, start dealing with the clutter. Now you said, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to begin. So to both of you, here's the deal. It does not matter where you begin. There is no right or wrong answer to that. What you have to do is get yourself into motion. So you may be feeling, I don't know where to begin, but it doesn't matter. So why is that stopping you? Now, I understand that we can all feel truly overwhelmed at times. I've been there myself, and it can help us feel really stuck. But in terms of choosing where to begin with your clutter, is there possibly some level at which saying, I don't know where to begin, is functioning as a reason not to do it? This may not be true for you. I don't know the specifics of the situation and I don't know you personally, but I'm sure there is going to be somebody watching this where that could be a factor in what's going on. So take what works for you from this and then leave the rest to be helpful to anyone else who's watching. Where do I begin can be a form of resistance. So something you can do is a little bit of journal work. Sit down and really think about some questions that you could answer for yourself. Now, you want to do this when you can be calm, when you can be relaxed, when you can really be introspective about it and maybe meditate on these questions a little bit and see what information pops up from inside. Don't try to answer them with your mind so much, but let some inner voice give you a different response to, I don't want to deal with this clutter because. Take a few minutes and answer that question. I don't want to deal with this clutter because. Another would be, if I get rid of all this clutter, I will feel. Finish that sentence. And then keep going. If you can write a paragraph or even a page about these questions or an answer to these questions, you're going to be surprised by what new insights and information come up for you. So I also mentioned that the way out of overwhelm is to put yourself into action. So in the Clutter Clearing from the Inside Out program and in my Fast Feng Shui books, I talk about choosing where to begin based on what's most important to you or where you will most immediately visibly see a difference. And this is particularly important with clutter clearing. So The clutter that confronts you when you walk into your home at the end of the day, the clutter that you see when you wake up first thing in the morning, or the clutter that's getting in the way of you having a place in your home where you can sit down and relax and recenter yourself. Those are some really good places to get started. So you might be thinking, I don't know where to start, because you're thinking in terms of types of clutter. Do I tackle the clothes first? Do I deal with paperwork? Do I get into all of the stuff that's in the kitchen? Pick a space first, something that you notice and that bothers you, and where you're going to be able to see visible progress, even if it's in a very, very small area. And you're going to hear me give the same advice to a lot of different questions as we go through this, because this is the approach that works. I wanted to talk about your last comment saying that you've been a clutterer in your 20s, in your 30s. You know, the decades have gone by and you still have clutter. Well, you still have clutter because you're still thinking about things the same way. And that's kind of where a law of attraction connection is also. And I do talk about this in the Clutter Clearing with the Law of Attraction program. You have to shift internally before your external circumstances are going to change. So if you've been like this for a long time, you have to decide that you're going to start approaching things differently. And you have to believe that it's possible to approach things differently. It all starts with awareness and mindset and making conscious choices. So you really can learn to do something about your clutter. You really can choose to see things differently, choose to approach things differently. You can gain understanding about how this whole feeling of overwhelm could, to some degree or another, be a form of resistance that's keeping you from making changes that maybe are feeling a little bit unsafe to you. The Clutter Clearing with the Law of Attraction program gets into all of that, as does the Clutter Clearing from the Inside Out program. There is a special combo if you do both at once. And if you've been considering joining those programs, I highly recommend it. They are designed to help people like you who want to do something about their clutter, but watch themselves not doing anything about their clutter, feeling overwhelmed, not knowing where to begin. You are my perfect client. So if you want to come join me, I would be delighted to welcome you to the program and interact with you in the Facebook group. And if that's not possible for you right now financially, I totally get it. Hang out here, watch the rest of these videos. I'm going to be continuing to produce more and answer more questions, get into more detail in all of this advice that I've got for people, and you'll learn a lot just by hanging out here. So I hope that's helpful. Don't let the overwhelm stop you. Instead of saying, I've got to do something about this clutter, but I don't know where to begin, just say, I'm going to do something about this clutter, and I'm going to begin now. And I'm going to begin here, and then go find 3 things, any things in your home that you don't want, use, or need anymore, and put them in the recycle bin or in a donation box, or throw them out. It may seem so insignificant to the scale of what you have to deal with, but you will have started. And then congratulate yourself on starting, and then do some more tomorrow. Aloha.